But now you got some other things coming up.
Yeah,
Besides Wicked, you're expanding.
Yeah, I'm doing a film, an independent film about the Vietnam War.
Aren't we all?
I know.
Musical production, you're singing about Vietnam?
No, the first time I'm not singing. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I might try to throw some in, though. It just wouldn't be right if I didn't.
Stop shooting those guns!
You're so offensive, like Tet. No.
Offensive.
Yeah, no, I think that could work.
What's that called? What's that called?
It's called 21 and a Wake Up.
Okay.
That's like jargon. It's like military jargon for when you leave, when you get to go home.
Okay.
Oh.
Like that's how many days you have until you get to go home.
You know, usually independent films are they're done on a shoestring budget. You know, someone's paying for it themselves. So to make a film about the Vietnam War seems a little ambitious. Are they?
Well, it's actually the first film about the Vietnam War that the Vietnamese government is allowing to film in their country. So it's kind of a the deal.
Are you playing a Vietnamese girl? Because that would be a hell of an
She's got
acting
that
job.
much
You are
range.
so talented.
It's typecasting.
the blonde
So
hair.
it's not much of a stretch, but
Megan Hilty
Yeah.
hanging out with us. She's Glinda the Good Witch, now playing at Wicked, playing at the Pantages Theater. Chris is going to back me up here. He actually went to see the show.
Yeah, I took my wife there on our anniversary. We went on the March 11th show, and we absolutely loved it. And I'm not a big, hey, let's go see a play guy, but that show was really good, and you had us cracking up through the whole entire show.
oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then, of course, I got to go home and tell my daughter that, my 5-year-old daughter, hey, guess who was in the play? Snow White from Shrek the Third.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you did an awesome job of that Led Zeppelin song in that movie, man.
Yeah, I'm always singing and everything. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, she thought that was amazing. You saw Snow White from Shrek?
Aww. That's so sweet.
Is the humor in the show Wicked? Since I haven't seen it yet, but I'm seeing it really soon. Is the humor aimed at kids? Is it a kids thing, or is it one that it's adults? I mean, is like Bugs Bunny, some of the humor goes over the kids' heads. Is it an adult show that kids will enjoy, or is it a kids show that adults will like too?
But both.
It's both.
Yeah, seriously. It appeals to so many different people, like all different walks of life. The humor especially is, I guess it's geared more for adults,
So
but
it's
the
not
kids
dumbed
just
down
love it.
for, like,
Visually, the kids
it's not
love
dumbed
it.
down at
All
all.
the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
But all the
yeah.
funny comes from Megan.
Of course it does.
All of it.
I know.
Well,
we know
really,
you
I mean-
love her. We know. See what I'm saying?
Seriously, I am in love with her.
Well, who could blame you, really? It's,
Well, she's taken.
Yeah.
I understand she does have a boyfriend,
Yeah,
but he
he's-
is part of the Frank Army.
He is,
Oh.
and hi Steve, hi honey. He listens every day.
Hi,
He's the one-
Steve. Hi, honey.
He's the one that got me hooked on your show.
Really?
Yeah.
If he's in the Frank Army, what else would get you hooked on?
That's another show, I think.
So you ever snuck out the Glinda the Good Witch dress, took it home, and had a night with Steve?
No, but there are popular panties. My big popular number is
Yes, the popular
the
panties. I
popular
remember
panties.
those.
Yeah,
Of course
they're
you
little
did.
they're little pink shorts that have been.
There's a
fun.
song about panties
Yeah.
in it? That's not The Wizard of Oz.
So you've worn those for him?
Maybe. Maybe.
So are you dressed like, I'm thinking the Good Witch and the Wizard of Oz. She's in this 1939 outfit with lots of lace and taffeta crap. Is that you? Are you wearing the same stuff? The same thing?
My dress is huge. It weighs like 5,000 pounds, which is awkward at times.
You have a little wand, little magic wand.
So you're
and everything?
exhausted.
You were telling me
when
one
it's
time that
over.
they couldn't get you out of the dress, but you had to be on
Yeah,
stage, and so
yeah.
they actually had to cut through this dress.
Yeah, I have like ridiculously fast, quick changes. And one time they had to actually cut me out of this huge, like $20,000 gown to get me back.
Well, like a hook wouldn't cut. They just couldn't. Is it
The
a zip?
zipper was stuck, and so they had to cut down the zipper, like that little fabric part of the zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
That
There's some
was
crazy,
fun.
old Mexican lady in the back trying to zip that thing back up.
Wait, did you have to put it back on for later?
My dresser did. Because I have to wear the dress again in the end of the show.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How many times on an average night at the end of Wicked, which the audience loves, how many times do you, as the performers, know you blew a line or missed a cue?
All the time.
So every
All the
night
time.
there's something that goes wrong
There's
because the
always
audience doesn't
something
know.
that's going
And
on.
you freak out, but the audience doesn't know. So, see, you're freaking out about it, but we're sitting there going, I don't know. Because I don't know what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I've gotten to the point where I don't freak out anymore. It's just kind of like, oh,
Is it because you're doing the same thing every night? Because the show runs every night but Monday.
Exactly, yeah.
And so you're doing the same thing every night. I mean, do you embrace those F-ups as like, oh, well, something new happened tonight?
It is. It makes it really exciting. And then, you have to make something up to make it make sense. And
then get back to where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Where was that? Can I start over?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Everybody okay with that? Bring that bubble back in.
Let me start over.
What's the longest sweat-inducing, well, you don't freak out anymore, but digression from script? Something that went on for maybe a few seconds where you had to dance around to get back? I mean, there's one thing to miss one line, but then if the other line's missed too, now where are you?
And so on and so on.
The real problem comes in when people don't show up on stage. So you're just waiting around. So there's not.
Well,
there's
whose
really
fault is that?
not.
Is that like a stage manager's fault?
Not at all.
Always blame Dave.
Our stage manager David Lover's in the room with us too. Hi, David.
So someone misses their cue, they're not there. Now you either have to ad-lib or repeat the line. But if you repeat the line, the audience is going to know you're repeating the line, so you can't repeat the line.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Exactly. One time, a friend of mine was on stage, and somebody didn't come on stage for their cue, and she literally grabbed the other person's hand on stage and started skipping around the stage until they showed up.
For no reason.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see that.
Later on, did you work that in as an ad-lib? Remember that skipping thing we used to do? We should do that again sometime, just to make it seem like it belonged
Yeah, exactly. Bring it back.
Is there an end date on Wicked? Like, is it going to leave the Pantages Theater at some point, or this is because it's such a huge popular show? They're just going to run it till in the ground.
January 11th.
Oh, so there's
is when
time.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
And you have this the movie going on, this Vietnam movie, and then you have the Megan show.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
this?
I wrote a show with my friend Shoshana Bean. She played opposite me on Broadway in Wicked. And she's out here right now. She's Show.
Right.
And I'm Meg. Together we're Meg
Show.
and Show. And we have a show. So it's the Megan. It's it took us hours to come up with that name.
I like it.
Yeah, so we wrote this show, and we did the first one about a month ago, and it went over really well. And so now we're moving to a bigger venue.
When I hear two friends say they wrote something together, one is always